This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised as some cases contain graphic content. We mean no disrespect to anyone we discuss in this podcast except our exes. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. However, we will be expressing our personal opinions. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Hey everybody, it's Cynthia.
And I'm Batman. I'm Wes. And this is Love and Luminol, a true crime podcast.
Yes, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We got a special Halloween episode today.
We do.
Yes, we do.
I don't know if I want to wear this the whole time.
Bother you? It'll be a short one.
Okay.
Not too long.
All right. So who are we doing?
It is Timothy O'Brien.
Timothy O'Brien. Doesn't sound familiar.
Doesn't sound familiar?
You got a lot of these that don't sound familiar to me.
I know, but then
you're
you
getting
might.
good at it.
I am good. I've been researching the far out there. But all right, let's get into it.
All right. Here we go.
Guys, but before we get into it, we've been doing some book talk on our TikTok.
Yep.
And I saw this at a bookstore we went to, and they have little covered books. You don't know what book's inside, but they write kind of a hint on the front of it. Buy it, open it up. So I grabbed a couple. I want to see which one this is.
Yeah.
We haven't done a horror book yet together.
No, I mean, not really. I don't think
Not too bad. Supernatural, but not.
Yeah, nothing straight
right.
out horror.
So let's see what we got. Oh my gosh. I kind of want to save this wrapper for some reason. I do.
Looks like it's just paper bag.
Oh, it's a fire.
Fire.
I almost caught on fire.
The Twisted Dead by Darcy
Coates.
Coates.
I've read one of her books before.
Hmm.
I can't think of what it was.
Is this part of a series?
Oh, it is, and it's number 3.
Well, that doesn't help us out any.
It's number 3.
So I guess we're starting with number 3? Or do we go backwards and start with number 1?
We'd have to find number 1.
Wow.
Oh, The House Next Door. That's the one I read she wrote. Pretty good. And she wrote Parasite, the one I was going to read.
Okay.
But, so yeah, not bad. I like it.
All right.
So we'll start at 1 at some point and work our way up to 3.
Well,
You're like,
they just messed us up completely.
There goes our book talk reveal.
They ruined it.
Check out our TikTok if you're interested to see what books we've been reading together. Mostly smut so far.
Yeah, a lot of smut.
A lot of smut. But check out and you can see what we think about the books we read.
Yep. And also we do updates on TikTok a lot. So
yes.
Whenever there's a new episode, if you're not subscribed or anything, feel free to look on TikTok. You'll see when there's new episodes and what they're on. So
yeah.
But let's get into this week's.
All right. So we're going to Texas.
Texas. We were just in Texas.
We were. But we're going to see, or talk about, we're not going to see, but talk about Timothy O'Brien. And there's a picture of him right there.
Okay.
Just your average kid. He was born April 5th of 1966.
Oh, this is old?
Yes.
Okay.
This is older. The 70s, I believe, is when this happened.
Okay.
And he was 8 years old when he died.
Oh,
Yeah.
got a kid one.
Another kid one. He lived in Deer Park, Texas.
Okay.
His father's name was Ronald Clark O'Brien. There's a picture of his father.
Okay. That's an old photo.
That is. His mother was, and I don't know if this is how you say it, but Daynene.
Daymene.
It's Daynene. Daynene.
Huh. Like
That's
Nadine,
pretty.
but Daynene.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty. And he had one sister, Elizabeth, and she was born in 1969. So she's 3 years younger than him.
Okay.
2 to 3, depending on what month. But his father worked as an optician at Texas State Optical in Sharpstown, Texas.
Okay.
So he's a doctor, optician.
He's an eye doctor.
Yeah. he was also deacon at the Second Baptist Church, where he sang in the choir and ran a local bus program. But this case takes place Halloween, October 31st of 1974.
Perfect timing, baby.
Yeah.
Get a Halloween case for a Halloween episode.
Yep. So
It's almost like you planned it.
I did. I did. But they were going to go trick-or-treating in Pasadena, Texas neighborhood.
We passed that.
Yeah.
I remember when we were on the bus going to the cruise ship, I saw that sign that said Pasadena.
Yep, that's where they were going trick-or-treating at.
That's funny.
In 74. But their neighbor and his 2 children joined them. And his neighbor, Jim Bates, and then his kids was Mark and Kim. And they joined Ronald, Elizabeth, and Timothy.
Okay.
So all 6 of them, right? That is math, right? Yeah. 6 of them went trick-or-treating together. But Jean Bates, that's the neighbor's wife, and his wife, Daneen, stayed at the Bates home to pass out candy. So the wives were like, we'll stay here, hand out candy. You guys take the kids out.
Okay.
They visited a promising home, but when they knocked, no one came to the door.
Okay.
But it looked like a decent home. The children were impatient, and so they're like, we're going to the next, and they ran off to the next house. But Ronald caught up to the group a little later and handed out 5 of the 21-inch long pixie sticks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he said he got from the house they were just at. He's like, I was walking away, and they answered the door, handed me these sticks.
Yeah.
He said, well, they finally answered the door, and he gave 2 pixie sticks to his kids, and he gave the neighbor's kids each one.
Okay.
Then the 5th one he gave to a 10-year-old boy, I assume it was a boy that was walking past, that he recognized from the church.
Okay.
He goes, oh, I seen you at church. Here, you want this extra one? But Daneen went to visit a friend when they got home, while Ronald put the kids to bed.
Okay.
Before bed, Timothy, he asked if he could have some candy. And he chose the pixie stick.
Okay.
And Ronald helped him break the powder up because he was having trouble getting it out of the straw. Like, he had it open, dumped it upside down. It wasn't coming out. So he had to, like,
That's
wiggle
a
it
red
between your
flag right
hands.
there.
Yeah. Loosen it up. Timothy said the candy tasted bitter and thought it might have went bad. He's like, this tastes funny. So his dad gave him some Kool-Aid. And then Timothy instantly started complaining of his stomach hurting.
Okay.
He's like, my stomach's starting to hurt. So he got up and he ran to the bathroom where he started vomiting like crazy. It was exorcist vomiting, yeah. And then he started convulsing and foaming at the mouth.
Oh, no.
Yep. So his
Was it
dad
cyanide?
panicked. You'll see. His dad panicked. And he just grabbed a hold of him, held him, and then all of a sudden he just went limp. So he called 911. Timothy died en route to the hospital an hour after ingesting the candy.
Quotations. Candy.
But autopsy showed that he was poisoned by a fatal dose of potassium cyanide.
What did I tell you?
Yep, you knew it.
My God.
Because they said it was laced inside the pixie sticks.
Jesus.
That was passed out at this house.
Be like, I know which house it came from. Let's go get them.
4 of the 5 pixie sticks were recovered by police from the other children. So I assume they got Elizabeth, the neighbors. But that one kid randomly wandering around, they had some trouble getting it from.
But they did eventually.
And none of the kids, the 4 that they recovered, none of them ate the pixie sticks.
Gotcha.
Parents in Deer Park turned their children's candy into the police because they were panicking, fearing it may have been poisoned. Don't know if they stopped by this house or not, but they were in the neighborhood. The parents of the 5th child became hysterical when they couldn't find the candy after the police called them to notify them. They find this kid.
They thought the kid ate it.
So yeah, the panics were freaking out. Like, I looked through his candy bag. It is not there. So they rushed upstairs to the kid's room to find him asleep holding the pixie stick in his hand.
Oh,
Yes.
so close.
He wasn't able to get it open, so he fell asleep.
Oh.
So they I would be
That
so
kid lucked
freaking
out.
Yeah, I would be so freaking nervous. I was like, he was this close to death. Like, he had it in his hand, he just could not get it open.
So close.
I'd be oh my God. A miracle child. But it was stapled shut, so he couldn't get it open.
Stapled?
Yes, the pixie stick was opened up. The top 2 inches were filled with cyanide powder, and then it was stapled back shut.
Wow.
And then I guess flipped to the other side. But this is a picture of the length of the pixie sticks. I remember getting some of those. It's real
Oh,
long.
those big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, long pixie stick.
Wow.
Yeah. The candy consumed by Timothy contained enough cyanide to kill 2 adult men.
Jesus.
Yeah. The other 4 candies contained enough cyanide combined to kill 3 adults.
Oh, he got the low one.
Yeah. Well, no, the other 4 candies combined could kill 3
combined.
adults.
Oh,
he got
so
the
he got
high
the
one.
high dose one.
He got he got the one
Oh.
higher dose. The average lethal dose of cyanide is about 250 milligrams. So it's that little amount. It's lethal if not treated within 30 minutes. So you only got 30 minutes from ingestion to get some help. And the patient dies of cardiorespiratory arrest secondary to the dysfunction of the medullary centries, so the brain. Yeah, so he's a poor kid. Ronald originally stated he couldn't remember which house he got the pixie stick from. But police were like, okay, retrace your steps. They're like, we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Because Ronald and the neighbor only took the kids down 2 streets. So they're like, you'll remember this house once we go down there.
Yeah.
Because it was raining that day, so they're like, we can't trick or treat around forever. We're going to hit these 2 popular streets and go back.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's kind of suspicious you don't remember that house in detail. It's the only weird one they supposedly came across.
Yeah.
And the suspicions increased when none of the homes they visited handed out pixie sticks.
The hell?
They retraced their steps, and none of them had pixie sticks. Police walked him through the neighborhood 3 times before he finally led them to the home where no one answered the door.
Gotcha.
He's like, there's that house. He claimed he went back there before he caught up, and the guy opened the door finally and said, here, take these and go.
Yeah.
He said the owner didn't turn on the lights, but he just cracked the door open and handed him 5 pixie sticks. So he only saw the guy's arm,
Okay.
which he described as hairy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all they got, a hairy arm. But the house was owned by a man named Courtney Melvin.
Okay.
He was an air traffic controller at William P. Hobby Airport and did not get home from work until around 11 p.m. So no one answered the door because no one was home.
Okay, then who was there with the pixie sticks?
They ruled him out because over 200 people confirmed he was at work. So he was working
Who the
late.
hell was there?
Bill Lanier, a former Pasadena police officer who investigated Timothy's death, reported he said, quote, the boy reached in and picked out a sucker. But his dad said, no, you don't have time to eat a sucker. Here, try this pixie stick.
Oh, no. Was it the dad?
Police learned that the dad was over $100,000 in debt, which is $590,000 in the year 2022. And he had a history of being unable to hold a job. In the 10 years preceding this crime, he had over 21 jobs. So 21 jobs in 10 years.
Wow.
So,
Wait, so he was carrying around these big-ass pixie sticks this whole time?
yeah, supposedly. So, yeah, at the time, around this time, he was suspected of theft at his job at the optical center, and he was close to being fired from there, too.
Wow.
Yeah. His car was about to be repossessed. He defaulted on several of his bank loans, and the home has been foreclosed on. So he's in some bad shape.
Did he have insurance on the kid?
Yep. The police claim he wanted to claim life insurance money to ease his debt. Police
Sorry.
No. that's
So he gave it away to other kids too, though. Was this just to throw suspicion off, hoping
Yeah.
other kids were going to die too, and they'd blame it on some random person?
Yep. They blame it on a random person.
This
They're on
asshole.
Yep. Police discovered that he'd taken out life insurance policies on his children in the months prior. In January of that year, 1974, he had taken out $10,000, which is equivalent to $59,339 in 2022, in life insurance policies on both of his kids. And 1 month before Timothy's death, he took out an additional $20,000, which would have been like $119,000 in 2022, on both of his children, despite objections from the insurance agency.
Wow.
So he took out extra on him. The total of all his policies equaled to $60,000, which was $356,000 in 2022. So it wouldn't cover all of his debt. He'd still have $40,000. But Daneen, the mom, claimed she didn't know about the life insurance policies on the kids. He never inquired with her. Yeah. The morning after Timothy's death, you'll like this, Ronald called asking about how he can collect the money.
The morning after?
The morning after he died.
If that's not a red flag.
Yep. And Ronald also visited a chemical supply store in Houston to buy cyanide shortly before Halloween. Yep. After police discovered when and where he purchased the poison, Ronald was arrested on November 5th of 74 for one count of capital murder, so not regular murder, just capital, and 4 counts of attempted murder.
Wow.
For the other pixie sticks he handed out. Right here is a picture of his arrest mugshot there.
Is that the same guy from earlier?
Yep.
Because it looks completely different.
That's the same guy.
Must be the glasses.
His
The
glasses are gone.
Just makes him look like a different guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yeah. He entered a plea of not guilty for all 5 charges. Like that would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm like, we know it was you.
I want to know, like, those things are huge, and he had 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
And he was walking around with the kids trick-or-treating. He had these 5 big-ass sticks just in his pocket. I'm very confused.
I know. The only way I can figure is if he had it, like, shoved in his pants and on the side of him.
Like up his shirt?
Yeah,
on
up
the
his shirt
inside?
and in his pants. He was walking around with
Maybe.
them.
Wow.
Down his back. The back of his butt
And then
crack.
he's like,
Like
look
when the
what
kids
that
took
house
off,
just gave us.
Yeah, when the kids took off and run ahead, he's like, "Here's my chance." Pulled them all out, and be like, "Look what they gave me." It's the only thing I can
Wow.
think of. But during the trial, a chemist who was acquainted with him testified that in the summer of 1973, Ronald contacted him asking about cyanide and how much would be fatal. So he said,
Oh
"How
my
much would I
God.
need to be fatal?" Yeah. And and that wasn't a red flag back when he was asking. I don't understand. No one was like, why do you need to know?
Yeah. Why would you need to know something like that?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
It's purely academic.
And then a chemical supply salesman testified that Ronald asked him how he could purchase cyanide.
Oh my God.
Again, nobody decided to bring this up to the authorities or nothing. This guy's looking unusually hard for some cyanide.
Yeah.
And this one gets even better. Friends and family stated that months before Timothy's death, Ronald showed an, quote, unusual interest with cyanide.
He just keeps bringing cyanide up in conversation. It's very strange.
I know. And family and
We were
everybody.
talking about we were talking about Labor Day barbecues, and he's just like, "Hey, what do you know about cyanide?"
Yeah, I mean, if it was like my sister was asking everybody in the country about how she can get cyanide, I wouldn't drink anything she brought me. I'm like,
4th of July, we're blowing off fireworks, and he goes, "You think there's any cyanide in those?" I mean,
how much do you think it
why does he
take?
keep bringing up cyanide every time we get together?
I know. I'm like, well, his sister-in-law and brother-in-law testified that on the day of Timothy's funeral, I know, you're looking at me like, the day of his funeral, he spoke of using the life insurance money to take a long vacation and to buy other items that he wanted.
Wow.
And here's a picture of that's him going into court. Sorry, I skipped right over all that.
Wow. That one he
That's
looks
his
different
lawyer.
again.
Yep, he lost his glasses. I don't know if it's just...
Yeah, but even in the previous one with the glasses, he looks different than he does in this picture. It's like every picture they show of him, he looks like a different guy.
Oh,
That's
but his
weird.
lawyer's got his glasses, though.
Maybe he took them.
He's
They look like the same glasses.
They do. He's like, I need these. But that's the funeral, and that's him in the front row right there, just gazing off into the abyss.
He couldn't, you know what? He couldn't, all the debt he was in, he couldn't afford the lawyer.
Oh,
So he's
they
like,
paid him glasses.
he's like, what about these glasses?
Oh my goodness. He's
Oh,
like, take these glasses.
yeah, he doesn't seem interested in this funeral at all.
No. I don't even know what he's looking at. He's just kind of looking off into like he's bored almost. He's like, oh, is this guy done talking?
I think there's somebody up by the casket talking because there's another guy, like 2 people down with glasses on that's
looking,
looking
yeah.
the same direction.
I'm just like, what?
But
And I see all the other
women have their heads down.
Yeah, they're
'cause all
crying, tissues, and he's just kind of, the 2 guys are staring off. But Daneen rejected the claim that Timothy chose the pixie stick and said that Ronald made him choose the stick. So she backed it up. He came in wanting a sucker, and he's like, no, you don't have time for that. Get this pixie stick. Which makes no sense because that thing's like 21 inches long or something.
Yeah, that would have took forever to eat.
Yeah. I'd be like,
Sucker
I don't
would've
want
been
you to have
quicker.
that much sugar before bed. Take the sucker.
I wouldn't have even, yeah. I would have said find something small.
Yeah.
Fuck the sucker, fuck the pixie stick. Let's do, not
Not that big 20-inch tube of sugar.
Let's do this little Tootsie Roll right here.
You want to lick this Laffy Taffy? We'll wrap it back up.
If you open that sucker, we're going to have to wrap it back up. No. Take the Tootsie Roll.
But in June 3rd of 75, the jury took 46 minutes. That was it. To find Ronald guilty of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder.
Yeah, that was an easy one. They're like, yeah, he did it.
Yeah, we're like, well, all
He
the
was
witnesses
talking
saying
about
he was asking about
cyanide.
cyanide for months.
He was asking everybody about cyanide, how to get cyanide, how much cyanide could kill someone. Like, and then he's the one who magically had these pixie sticks. Come on.
No.
It's too easy.
And the jury only took 71 minutes to sentence him to death by electrocution.
Oh, man.
So they were in a hurry. They're like, dude, Judge Judy comes on at 4. Let's get this done. Let's get
We
this
don't want to
done.
miss Murder, She Wrote.
No, let's get this over with. We know we did
No,
it.
back then it would have been, what? Happy Days.
Happy
We don't want to
Days.
miss Happy
We
Days.
don't want to miss Happy Days. Come on now. Speed it up. But shortly after the conviction, Daneen filed for divorce. I don't know why she waited till conviction. I would have filed like the day he was arrested. I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
officer, while you're here, do you know how to get a divorce?
Maybe she wanted to make sure he was guilty. I don't know.
Maybe, but still. I don't know. But she remarried, and her new husband adopted the daughter she had with Ronald Elizabeth. So that was good news for that
And
one.
pixie sticks is no longer allowed in the home.
Right. No.
And they don't
According
trick or treat.
No more trick or treating. Aw, she's probably traumatized anyway and doesn't want
Yeah.
to go.
What do you
she's
think-
like, I was near death.
What do you think, though? The kids are like, hey, can we go trick-or-treating? What do you think the mom's like? You already lost one dude to trick. I mean, what would you think?
I don't know if I'd let him. I'd be like, how about I just go buy you a bunch of candy?
I'll
and
go
we
buy you
sit
some
at home
candy.
and watch
We'll
movies.
buy one of those big bags that have a variety
Mix,
of candies
yeah.
in it, and just let them eat as much as they want.
Yeah, that's what I'd do. Because, I mean, I wouldn't even trust taking them relative houses at this point. I'd be like, we're staying inside. I'm buying candy from the store.
Yep.
But according to Reverend Carol Pickett, a former chaplain who worked for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Ronald was shunned and despised by his fellow death row inmates for killing his child.
Yeah.
Well,
They
yeah.
usually don't like kid killers in
They
there.
don't.
Kid molesters, killers, none of that
yeah,
stuff.
abusers, anything. But he was, quote, absolutely friendless.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not hurt about that.
That's good.
The inmates reportedly petitioned to hold an organized demonstration on Ronald's execution date to express their hatred of him. They're like, I'll have a party. Like, we're going to have this organized demonstration in his execution.
Wow.
His first execution date was set for August 8th in 1980.
Okay.
His attorney successfully petitioned for a stay of execution. Pushed it back a little. His second date was for May 25th. I said a little, but it was 1982, so pushed it back 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And which was also postponed.
What the hell?
Judge Michael McSpadden scheduled a third execution date for October 31st, 1982.
What?
The 8th anniversary of the crime, and he offered to personally drive Ronald to the death chamber.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
They fried him on Halloween?
It was the first time Texas executed a prisoner by lethal injection.
Oh, lethal injection.
Yeah, they switched it. But the Supreme Court delayed the date yet again to give Ronald a chance to pursue an appeal to seek a new trial, which I thought that was, I mean, they set that date up perfect.
That would have been perfect.
That would have been, yeah. But
Let's
of
kill
course,
the bastard on Halloween, the day you kill this kid.
yep, but the Supreme Court delayed it. A fourth date, so this is the fourth time, a fourth date was scheduled for March 31st of 1984. His lawyer sought a fourth stay. That must be good glasses. It's like
Those glasses must be
damn top notch.
very expensive.
As his lawyer sought a fourth stay on the basis that lethal injection was a, quote, cruel and unusual punishment. But
Okay.
electrocution's okay?
Yeah.
It's like, what the... Okay, let's be picky. But on March 28th, a federal judge rejected the request. He's like, we've had enough of this.
I'd say
Let's
so.
get him done with. Yeah. So on March 31st of 1984, so when the judge rejected it the 28th, he just had 3 more days till he was executed.
There you go.
On March 31st, shortly after midnight, Ronald was executed by lethal injection at the Huntsville unit. There you go. His last meal consisted of T-bone steak, medium well, French fries and ketchup, whole kernel corn, sweet peas, lettuce and tomato salad with egg and French dressing, iced tea, sweeteners, saltines, Boston cream pie, and rolls. So
He
a
ate
feast.
pretty damn good.
He did. And this is his last words. His last words were, quote, "What is about to transpire in a few moments is wrong. However, we as human beings do make mistakes and errors. This execution is one of those wrongs, yet doesn't mean our whole system of justice is wrong. Therefore, I would forgive all who had taken part in any way in my death. Also, to anyone I have offended in any way during my 39 years, I pray and ask for forgiveness, just as I forgive anyone who offended me in any way. And I pray and ask God's forgiveness for all of us respectively as human beings. To my loved ones, I extend my undying love. To those close to me, know in your hearts I love you one and all. God bless you all, and may God's best blessings be always yours. P.S. During my time here, I have been treated well by all TDC personnel."
Okay.
Like, what's that?
Notice no
sales
mention
pitch.
of his kid.
Nothing.
Not a single mention.
Or the kids that he almost killed.
Not an apology for that.
He's just
Not
like, this is wrong, but I forgive you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. I'm like, the balls on this man.
It's ridiculous.
During the execution, a crowd of 300 demonstrators gathered outside the prison, cheering, while some even yelled, "Trick or treat." And here's
Wow.
a poster. Someone said, "Trick or treat, Candyman," because he picked up the name the Candyman due to his...
Is that where they got the idea for Candyman?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. They didn't do anything with trick or treating with that horror movie, but just the name in general.
Because he was known as the Candyman or the Man Who Killed Halloween. Those were his 2 nicknames.
Huh.
But some even showered anti-death penalty demonstrators with candy. So they were just throwing trick-or-treat candy at these.
It was a party.
It was. But Ronald is buried in Forest Park East Cemetery in Webster, Texas. And that's a picture of his gravesite. 44 to 84, so he was 39.
The only description is son.
Son. Yeah, they didn't claim him as a father and a husband, nothing, just son.
Son.
And then poor Timothy is buried at Forest Park Lawndale Cemetery in Houston, so they didn't even bury them together, which I thought was good. They separated them.
Yeah.
So there's little Timothy's stone, and you could say he was 8.
Wow.
Yeah, Timothy Mark O'Brien.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's it. The man that killed Halloween. It's bad to do
Ridiculous.
this episode before to take the kids trick or treating.
Yeah, what's up with that? Now I'm gonna be like,
Before
no
I
candy.
ruined it for the kids.
No candy. Sorry.
I'm gonna be looking for anything suspicious. Like we're going to Walmart and back.
Wow.
But yeah, there you go. Sad case, horrible case. I'm sure that one kid that was cuddling the pixie stick while he fell asleep was bought a shit ton of lottery tickets, I hope.
I
Man.
would say so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was... Imagine if that was your child. I'd be like, oh, no, you were that close to death. If you could have just opened that pixie stick, you would have
Yep.
been dead. I wouldn't know what to think. Like, And that's it. Thoughts to the family. Elizabeth lost a brother.
Yep.
I'm not sure if she had any half brothers or sisters. I didn't read anything, but her stepdad adopted her, so that's good that came
That's
out of
good.
that. Yep. She's loved for, I know, but still sad for the family for that loss.
Yeah.
Timothy.
All
There
right.
you go.
Well, not much I can say about that one.
Were you
Other
shocked
than-
that you were clone like, who's at that house? And then when it went to the dad, you're like, you're
You know,
kidding me.
So when you mentioned the dad at the beginning and you showed a picture of him, I kind of was like, it probably is the dad in my head.
Yeah.
But then you started talking about the house and all that, and I was like, well, okay. It just kind of went out the window. I didn't even think about it anymore.
No.
But, yeah, I kind of, at the beginning, was suspecting the dad before you
Yeah.
even got into it. So the fact that it went back to him, I was like, oh, fuck.
I know. You got away from, you're like, wait, who's in the house? And then when I
Mm-hmm.
came back to the dad, you're like, oh, shit.
The fact that you brought up that he was a deacon and stuff. I
Uh-huh.
was like,
There you go.
oh.
A deacon, yeah. Optician.
Yeah.
That apparently is in a shit ton of debt.
Wow. Well, damn. Yeah, it really makes me want to question trick-or-treating now. But, that's like the urban legend all the time anyways,
Yeah.
that somebody's going to put something in the kids' candies. And it's very
Glass
rarely
or
ever
something.
happened.
Yeah.
It's just,
Like there's one year, it was all over the place. People were fearing glass or something
Yeah.
being put in candy, pixie sticks or something.
the one that drives me nuts, though, is because marijuana edibles have become so popular.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody online is like, check your kids' candy. They're going to give them the marijuana edibles instead of real candy. And I'm like, people are not giving away their
No.
edibles.
I was like, why would you do that?
They're
I'm
not
giving
just
no
they're not just
6-year-old
tossing
item.
those in in kids' trick or treat bags. They're not doing it.
No.
So any of you people out there who think that's gonna happen, it's not. Those
Is that-
people are saving those for themselves. They're
I was
not
gonna
just
say, is it
tossing them in
expensive
bags.
to get?
They're very expensive.
Oh, then no, they're not giving them away.
They're
to
very
kids.
expensive. Those people bought them because they wanted them. They're not going to be tossing them in those bags just to waste them on kids. And even if your kids did get a hold of one, what they're gonna get the munchies for 20 minutes, and
Let them enjoy the ride. Like,
it's not going to
No.
be that big of a deal. But it's not going to
still,
happen. So
yeah.
don't worry about it.
yeah.
And they're not going to put cocaine in it or anything else that's even harder, because that's even more expensive and
You guys got-
even
yeah.
harder to get. So
Because
no,
you got to
it's
think,
not
there's
happening.
rarely, we get mad because rarely people give out decent chocolates. Like
Yeah.
Snickers, usually it's like, here's a
Yeah.
bunch of Tootsie Rolls.
People are cheap with their
Yeah, there's no way they're
their
going to throw
Halloween
anything
candy. They're
expensive
not doing
in there.
anything expensive.
One lady's handing out tubes of toothpaste and apples.
Now the
They're not
glass and things like that, sure,
possible,
keep
yeah.
track of that. Make sure there's
Anything
no
looks
packages
open.
that were previously opened. Yeah, but don't be all like, "Is this weed or is it real?" No, don't worry about it. It's not happening.
It's too expensive to
It's
give away.
too
I guess.
expensive, and people like their weed too much. They're not just throwing it in kids' baskets. But yeah,
Who knows?
that's all I gotta say about that.
So, go through your children's candy before you can pick out all the
Pick
glass and edibles.
Pick out all the weed and save it for yourself.
Oh no! I'm hoping some of them get freeze dried candy.
Yeah. Freeze dried candy.
Right.
So good.
It is.
I can't really eat it anymore, though. Gotta go with the sugar free stuff.
Oh, it's still not bad.
It's still good, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Let's run down the spiel.
All right. In the Batman voice.
So, if you go to loveandluminol.com, you can check and see where we are on audio and video. All the links are there. You can also use our contact form. So if you want to...
Is that the one?
What?
The one that has a normal voice, then we put on the
No,
Batman
that's
mask?
Christian Bale, because he's like,
Yeah.
hi guys, how are you doing? Yeah. So, Yeah, loveandluminol.com has all our audio and video links. Also has a contact form, so if you want to message us or tell us we're shit, feel free to do so.
Woo.
And we are on pretty much all social media except for Twitter/X. It's at Love and Luminol on all of that. And I think that's about it, right?
That's it.
Yeah. We use a lot of TikTok.
We use a lot of TikTok for books.
Book talk and for our
Previews.
episodes and stuff. So, but yeah, we're pretty much everywhere though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so like and subscribe if you're into us and you want to be alerted when we're back on again. We do this weekly. Usually we drop it every Tuesday for True Crime Tuesdays, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye, I'm Batman.
I'm Cynthia.